Right. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. Or good morning, I guess. I wasn't sure I was going to do this video. I'm still not sure I will post it. But if it does, then I guess you're going to be entertained by me for another video. Oddly enough, I've just been listening to LBC radio and Mr. O'Brien in his early afternoon segment, was looking at words, so interesting words. So I think some people might just describe those as etymology, because that's the actual definition. But yes, yeah, the meaning of words. And we had some really interesting words. Incandescent, I think, was on there. Riveting, rhombosius, discombobulated, which is a very popular one, if you know certain movies that you've watched. So the word I want to use for this particular video is the word foolish. And I say that because this is somewhat of a reaction video to Sir Jim Ratcliffe's comments. As I say, I wasn't really sure I was going to post this video. So if you're seeing it, you're lucky enough because I've posted it. And so for those of you that don't know, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is a billionaire who's moved to Monaco, used to be a UK resident, has built a company or a range of companies, and he focuses on a lot of, I can't remember exactly, but I believe he owns a company called Ineos. I don't know too much about it, but I know also that he's a shareholder of Man United, and some of the comments which he has made in recent days regarding immigration. As I say, this is a reaction video. Unfortunately, I don't have the video to share, but I'll put it in the link before. So in this video, where he was doing an interview with a chap from Sky News, referred to as immigrants colonizing Britain, or that immigrants have colonized Britain. And in this video, he made a couple of statistical errors, or quoted a couple of statistical errors, one of which was that I believe he said in 2020, the UK population was 58 million, and then by 2025 it was 70 million, I believe. So he was saying that's grown by 12 million, which is incorrect, because in 2020, I believe the population was actually 68 million, thereabouts, or maybe 66.7, and then it went up to about 69 million. So by 2025, so it only grew by about 2.7 million, or 3 million, round about that. So that was incorrect. And look, the reason I'm doing this video, as I said, I wasn't sure I was going to do this video, but the reason that I'm doing it is because, I mean, to come out and say that the UK has been colonized by immigrants is, as I said at the beginning, a bit foolish. It's a very wild remark. I mean, immigration, as we know, is a staple of worldly progression. Wherever you live, immigration plays an important part. So when somebody comes out and says the UK has been colonized by immigrants, it's just wild to me, because you've got people that contribute massively, have contributed massively to the UK economy. And as you know, this channel is all about faith, business, and mental well-being, and I feel all of that comes into this conversation, because there's so many people that have come from different parts of the world that have brought so many things that have benefited. And you know, to come out and say those comments is wild and foolish, because it's statistically incorrect. It sends the wrong message, and I think what it does is that we all know, to some extent, that some of that rhetoric serves a particular demographic. You know, bear in mind, there is some major errors people would argue that the government have failed to tackle, or areas that have failed to tackle, one of which is immigration, which I feel, to be honest, has kind of fueled a lot of these types of rhetoric that have come out recently in the last few years. Is because, let's be honest, when we talk about immigration, who are those comments really focused towards? Because it's not, you're not going to be thinking about the typical sort of white you know, people that have come from abroad. So the Americans, the New Zealand, the Australians. We all know where sometimes some of these comments might be directed to, because the people that are affected by these comments are going to be the people that are here working properly and, actually contributing a heck of a lot. I don't have the figures, but I know that immigrants contribute a heck of a lot of tax to this country. Now, when you say that immigrants have colonized this country, well, then who are you talking about? Like, who are you talking about? Because immigrants, whether you're coupling immigrants and legal immigrants, I think the whole thing just puts everybody in the same boat. And it fails to classify and show the contributions that immigrants have made. Because when you say that immigrants have colonized the country, well, how do you dissect that? And people saying he's 100% correct, and that's the worrying thing. Because let's just look at it from the NHS's point of view. A lot of people that work in the NHS have come here legally. A lot of nurses come from a lot of different countries, whether it's in Africa, South America, Europe, the US. They've all come here legally. They're immigrants. By definition, an immigrant is somebody living in another country other than their birth. So, what do you mean? And so therein lies the problem. And I guess just to go back to some of the immigration stats, I mean, I know people like Nigel Farage coming out and saying mass immigration is a problem, which I kind of get. Look, nobody's here trying to diverge from the issue. We know that there are issues, and we acknowledge that. But at the same time, when you look at immigration, I mean, net migration peaked, I think, in 2023, and it's gone down since. So that includes legal immigration as well as illegal immigration. Yes, there might be an issue now in terms of the numbers being high, but it's nowhere near enough to say that the country is being colonized. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, last time I checked, the UK, the white population of England is still in the high 80s. So perhaps what a lot of people like Sir Jim Ratcliffe are pointing towards is the numbers of mass immigration, which I'm not sure what they mean. Are they talking about people on a dinghy? Because some people have referred to that as an invasion. I mean, wow. But okay, this is what I want to end with, because I don't want to get too much into this. Is I think what this rhetoric is serving is that it's serving a lot of people that maybe have feelings towards the country going a certain way, and they're just not happy with, a lot of they say people that are claiming benefits, and they're saying that people when they come here, whether legal or illegal, can get certain things that maybe people have been here that have worked for a long time, and then they're not able to get those same benefits, which I get, 100% get. There has to be a level of control. I mean, if you live in your house, you don't open the house to everybody and say, hey, come in, unless if you're Jesus Christ, because let's be honest, he's probably the only one that would probably still do that. But anyway, I digress. But I think what this is doing is that it's creating an even more divide in this country. And I think to get back to brass tacks, I believe that's the phrase, maybe I'm butchering it, is, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me. Is there a way back from this? Because it feels like with everything that's happened politically, with reform and stuff, people have just had enough, which is fair enough. We understand that, and we hear it. But I think that the problem now that lies is that comments like Sir Jim Ratcliffe's, which are statistically incorrect, and they're using that as a platform to, which I think to an extent he's sharing his own thoughts and feelings, rather actually really looking down at the numbers, which is worrying from somebody that's a billionaire, who, by the way, lives in Monaco, doesn't pay any UK tax. People argue that, well, he's got so many companies that he set up that, people from all over Europe, that he's employed so many people. But my thing is just like, if you're a billionaire, you're just one person. I mean, I think some of that tax would be really useful here in the UK. I mean, I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. So I'm like, yeah, but you're over in Monaco or wherever it is. You don't pay tax. You don't pay tax in the UK. And then you're talking about people, you're talking about immigrants and then how that they colonize the UK. It just doesn't make sense. It's mind blowing. I mean, if you really want to take a look at colonization, I mean, take a look at what happened in Africa. Now that's colonization. If you think a few million people come over here, which a large proportion of are working and contributing, then it's crazy. I mean, he partly owns Man United. Man United is, I think, at least 80 to 90% of the team are immigrants, because let's remember the definition of an immigrant is somebody living in another country other than the country that they were born. So technically, a lot of the players that are in Man United are immigrants. So immigrants have colonized the UK. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that.